You can't bluff a coin. That's the first thing most players learn after a few rounds on stake flip. The screen flashes, the coin spins, and you tell yourself it's a game of chance that the next flip could change everything. The average player treats stake flip like tossing coins in real life, pure luck, pure impulse. But pros, they treat it like reading motion. They study flow, timing, and pattern behavior. They know that every round carries momentum, and if you can catch that flow, you stop playing against the game and start playing with it. Momentum. That's the real secret. See, every flip session builds a pattern not predictable in a strict way, but emotionally traceable. The system runs in streaks and pauses. Sometimes it goes heads 5 times in a row, sometimes it alternates like a heartbeat, but beneath that, there's a rhythm. If you can read that rhythm, you'll know when to step in, when to pause, and when to ride. The biggest mistake people make is thinking they can outguess the game. You can't, but you can outtime it. Here's how pros do it. They never react emotionally. A new player loses 2 flips in a row and immediately doubles their stake on the next one, hoping to balance it out. That's emotional betting, the fastest route to draining your balance. A pro, on the other hand, sees 2 losses and reads it as rhythm disruption. They step back, observe the pattern reset, and wait. That pause, that silence between plays, is where control lives. Stake flip doesn't reward speed, it rewards composure. When the rhythm is tight, quick alternations between heads and tails, the system is in volatile mode. That's when you go small, test the flow, keep your exposure light. But when you start seeing longer clusters, 3, 4, 5 of the same result, that's when you slow your breathing, track the pulse, and prepare for the reversal. Because reversals always come. Most players panic when they see a streak. They assume it's due to change, but they jump too early. That's the rookie mistake. A professional waits 1 flip longer than feels comfortable. They let the streak fully burn out before betting on the turn. That's discipline. That's rhythm reading. Another rule: never chase momentum with desperation. You don't fight the flow, you surf it. You'll notice after every long streak, the next few flips feel uncertain, like the energy is confused. That's where most people lose. But that's also where pros make their money, because they step out when everyone else forces the game. Stake flip runs on psychological momentum as much as it does mathematical randomness. The coin doesn't change, you do. When you start losing, your heartbeat picks up, your clicks get faster, your timing gets sloppy. That's when the house wins. But when your mind slows down, your moves start matching the rhythm naturally. You begin predicting when to play, not what to play. Sometimes, pros play entire sessions without betting for the first 5 minutes. They just watch, record results, listen to the rhythm. Because every game has phases: calm, tension, chaos, and recovery. It's during recovery that real opportunities appear. When the system stabilizes after volatility, patterns become smoother and readable again. That's your entry point. It's not about predicting the future, it's about understanding the flow of correction. For example, if you've just witnessed 5 heads in a row, the next flip isn't automatically tails. But that streak just told you something: the balance has leaned one way. The system often breathes out afterward, shifting the tempo. That's when you reduce stake size, let the rhythm restabilize, then ride the new direction once it forms. There's something else players rarely talk about: micro-timing. Not just the pattern of results, but the feel of the flip speed. When the animation runs faster and outcomes flash quickly, that's volatility peaking. When the pace steadies, rhythm aligns. That's when you scale your bets slightly higher. The pros track tempo, like traders track candle speed in crypto charts, not the numbers, but the pace of change. If you sit with stake flip long enough, you start to sense momentum turns in your gut. You'll feel it before it happens, not because you're psychic, but because your subconscious tracks more data than you realize. That's rhythm awareness. The difference is, pros trust that instinct but confirm it through timing. They don't jump just because they feel lucky. They act when the rhythm matches their inner timing. Luck has nothing to do with it. You've seen those players who win big once and then crash, trying to repeat it. That happens when emotion overtakes rhythm. After a win, dopamine surges, timing gets sloppy, decisions speed up. The pro does the opposite. They slow down after a win. They reset. They rewatch 1 or 2 flips before playing again. Because the goal isn't to chase highs, it's to maintain precision. Every serious player eventually learns this. You can't control the coin, only your timing. And timing, over enough rounds, always beats guessing. The beauty of stake flip is how simple it looks, just a coin, two sides. But that simplicity hides a mental battleground. Most people think it's random. The best players know it's rhythm disguised as chance. When you stop fighting randomness and start syncing with momentum, the whole game changes. You're no longer flipping coins, you're reading motion. Some players treat it like chaos, others treat it like a metronome. The difference between losing and winning comes down to how still you can stay in that half second before the flip. That silence, that breath, that micro moment where everything balances, that's where your control lives. If you can stay calm when the game feels hot, deliberate when the screen flashes fast, and patient when your instincts scream to act, you've already won. Stake flip isn't about fortune. It's about rhythm. The more you chase luck, the faster it slips through your hands. But when you move with the flow, calm, aware, calculated, you start seeing results that don't feel random anymore. The pros aren't lucky, they're just tuned in. And once you catch that rhythm, you'll never see a coin flip the same way again.